Draymond, did you and Steph have any kind of like coerced plan to make sure Klay didn't win tonight?
No, we just wanted to win the game. Wasn't really about Klay winning. It's an in-season tournament game. We bombed last year, and we want to compete for that. So, NBA Cup, I'm sorry. So we want to compete for that. Obviously, with Klay coming back in here, we knew he'd come in competitive, as he always has been. But wasn't quite good enough today.
You're a guy who wears your emotions on your sleeve a lot when you play. Steph can be far more demure a lot of times. But what's it like when you see him getting riled up as he did, especially after he hit that dagger shot?
I knew he'd come in ready to go, which is very evident by that first foul. He just wanted to take the ball from Klay so bad. But when you see him express that type of emotion, everybody else just fall in line. I try to lead in that category. But when he's up, I move to the side, let him do his thing, and be in support. But he was absolutely incredible tonight, and, I knew he'd be locked in from the gate.
Kind of building off that, in a sense, just the and one at towards the end of the second quarter, just kind of how odd is that, given that you've played with Klay and Steph for so long, to see Klay or Steph kind of giving Klay the main mug there?
I've seen them battle a lot in practice, so it wasn't that odd. Once you get in the game, it's just about the game. We weren't out there like, oh, man, Klay's in a different jersey. It is what it is. We had great years here. He's over there trying to do something special. We're here trying to do something special. So once you get it between those lines, all that extra stuff go out the window.
What'd you make of the crowd tonight?
It's crazy. As soon as we walked in, came out, Loon said, man, this felt like Oracle. And it definitely had that feel. Like, I don't know. Maybe it was the court, but it just felt darker in there. And it was intense the whole night. Like, they were into it. It was a great crowd. We need that every night. And that's not a realistic thing to expect every night, but, man, they were amazing. Incredible. Shout out to them.
How much do you keep in touch with Klay? And if you see him after this game, what would you tell him?
I saw him. I told him, way to shoot. As far as keep in touch, you ever try to keep in touch with Klay? It's a very one-sided thing. So the love is there. The relationship is there. I'll get back in touch after the season. We'll both be in L.A. We'll kick it and spend some time together. But I'm not adding more gray hairs to myself to trying to chase Klay down. No chance.
Draymond, there's been times maybe you thought about leaving, or this thing went for 10 years and it could have gone a bunch of different ways. What is it like to actually experience it? Did you feel like did it feel like you've been through a lot? Did you feel a little bit older out there seeing a guy you were with from 2012?
In all honesty, hit a shot on him, you're going to say something to him. He hit a shot on us. He said something to us. He did a little terrible shimmy he did. It's awful. But that's the competitive nature. You don't win 4 championships together without that competitive fire. And so he has that, and we've known that forever. We have that, and he's known that forever. And so that's always going to happen. When you play against your brother, people always talk about, oh, man, why are those guys close? When you play against somebody you're close with, you want to beat them even more. You want to play well against them even more. And it just raises that level of competition. So seeing him over there, you want to play great. You want to do great things. And that was kind of the mindset. As far as feeling old or worrying about, if I'm totally honest with you, I had zero emotions towards, this is Klay's return. Now, I did some things to make sure I had zero emotions about it. But, it wasn't just like, I don't care. No, of course. We're human beings. We care. But been at this a long time, man. Played against a lot of friends. This is obviously different. A guy who, Klay Thompson gets just as much credit as building this as Steph Curry and myself, if not more. He is right at the center of that. So, we haven't had quite that thing. But nonetheless, it just wasn't that for me. It was a basketball game that we really wanted to win that had implications more than just a regular season game, and that was about it.
Draymond, you mentioned that Steph was really fired up, but it looked like from the beginning you brought your own juice, and it looked like you wanted to set a defensive tone early in the game. Is that kind of
that's who I am, Monty. I've been trying to do that for 13 years, set a tone defensively. But, yeah, they got two monsters over there when it comes to handling the basketball and playmaking and scoring and making other guys better. So you got to meet that force with force. And for me, that's where I come in. That's where I try to anchor this defense, bring a certain mentality. Can't expect guys to bring a certain mentality if you don't give them anything to follow. And so that was my mindset going in, to be ultra aggressive on both sides of the floor, but especially the defensive side of the ball, and make sure that they felt us. Make sure that they know if they were trying to get there, it's going to be hard to get there. And I think we did a pretty good job. Could do better. We could be a lot better. Shot 52%. But overall, when we needed stops, we got them.
You mentioned you did a few things to make sure, that this was, I guess, just a basketball game. But anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, I just watched his tribute video earlier. Shout out to Double R. He was nice enough to let me see it. But I just didn't want to deal with those emotions, because, A, there's a love for Klay that ain't going nowhere. But B, in watching his reruns, we're all a part of that. So then you start to go into the emotion. Oh, man, I remember that. Hey, man, on that playoff run, we had to do this to overcome this. And you start to go down those lanes. Let him have that. You watch it for the first time. You deal with those emotions. I had zero interest in dealing with them. And so that was a big thing for me. I just did not want the first time I saw his tribute video to be me standing there watching it.
So when the crowd's, tipping the sailor hats and everything, are you just trying to not? I
don't give a damn about them tipping no hats.
I just mean it was clearly like a very emotional moment when he's going around there. Are you trying to?
For him, yeah, he took it all in. That was great, but that wasn't my moment. That was Klay Thompson's moment. That's for him to get emotional about. I tipped my cap to him when he take me on his boat this summer. I tip him a cap today. My guy Michael Levine here. Love you, brother. It's great to see you. When Mike come in town, we got to win. So shout out to my guy.